Good morning, this is Di. If you've seen any news at all recently, you know that we had a shooting at Marysville Pilchuck High School on Friday, which was yesterday from the day I'm putting this up. And Marysville Pilchuck is about 15 minutes from where I live, and it's a big high school with a lot of kids, and so a lot of lives are touched by this happening or affected by this happening. I was fortunate that I don't happen to know any of the students. They weren't any of the kids in our youth program at church. My heart goes out to the community of Marysville, to the teachers, to the students, to the Tulalip tribes, and to everybody who is affected by this. I know this is a big loss and a big shock, and it kind of rocks our thing of safety. You know, we want our kids to be safe in school. We want to be safe in the movie theater and at church, and there doesn't seem to be any place that you can just say, okay, that's safe, nothing bad could happen here, and that's hard to face. When something like this happens, people are always like, what can we do? What kind of legislation can we pass? And of course, more funding for mental health services would really go a long way. But what can I do? What can an individual do? One thing that I've done that I highly recommend is that you put the number for suicide prevention in your phone. I actually have the suicide prevention number. It's under S on my contact, and you see it goes S and then suicide prevention. I just think it is too important that if there is somebody in a mental health crisis or that I suspect of being in a mental health crisis, I have a number that can help them. Now, there's a local number here, and that would have worked in Marysville to contact Care Crisis is what our crisis line is called. But the thing is about the suicide prevention number, no matter where you go, it's a United States number. So nationally, for my United States friends, this number will connect you to your local crisis services. So if you see somebody exhibiting signs of a mental health crisis and you have this number in your phone, you can call and get help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The suicide prevention number is 1-800-273-8255. And so it's my recommendation that everybody puts that number in their phone. What else can you do? You can educate yourself. There's a class called Mental Health First Aid. And Mental Health First Aid is a class that teaches regular people, not professional, not mental health professionals, but everyday people. It tells you what to do if you see the signs of a mental health crisis. There's an adult class and there's a youth mental health first aid class. And there's a website you can go to. You can go to mentalhealthfirstaid.org and go right on the website and find a class. So anywhere in the United States, at that website you can find a class. But Mental Health First Aid is an international program. So anywhere in the world, there are certified instructors in mental health first aid and an opportunity to take a class that will teach you what to do if you see the signs. If you work with youth and you work with students, it's really important to avail yourself to a youth mental health first aid course. And then, of course, the last thing you can always do is pray. The people, the families that are going through this right now, they're busy. They have loved ones in the hospital. They have funeral arrangements to make. They have students that get back into school. Workers, the community was there all night last night, sorting backpacks and tagging them so that students could pick them up today. And so we know they're working hard. There's nothing we can do but pray. And that is a huge benefit to them. Just like when someone's doing CPR, somebody else goes and calls 911, we can be the people calling 911. But when we call on God to help in these times. My favorite verse for hard times is one of the first verses I ever read in the Bible that really stood out to me and was really clear to me. It's from the Beatitudes. Jesus said in Matthew 5:4, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." And so my prayers for comfort for all of the people at Marysville Pilchuck High School affected by this loss.